It was on the Sharad Purnima night of the year 1922 when Sri Maharaj Ji descended on our planet Earth in the state of Uttar Pradesh, district of Pratapgarh, a little village called Mangar. Who was to know that he would in future become the Jagadguru of the world, the sublime spiritual personality? So it is only natural that his leelas, his pastimes were all divine. Even as a little child, he would be, while being frivolous as children are, he would from time to time give glimpses of his original personality and his awareness of the work that he was going to do in future. So there is some episodes from his childhood. They used to play on trees. There's a game called Jhad Bandar where you play running and catching on a tree. Now Maharaj Ji was sitting on a branch and another of his friends wanted to climb up but was unable to. Maharaj Ji said, "Hold my feet and climb." So that boy, out of his self-esteem, he shuddered at the thought. Maharaj Ji said, "The day will come when millions will want to touch my feet and you are hesitating." Now that boy, when he grew up, he revealed that Maharaj Ji said this to me one day. So in his initial schooling, he used to go to the local Pathshala of the village, Mangar, a very small village school. All day long he would play with the children, but when he would go for the exam, he would max it out. In fact, sometimes, for example, if an essay had to be written on a topic, he would write 3 essays and say, this is for simple-minded, this is for poets, this is for scholars, decide whichever you wish and evaluate it. So the teachers would find no fault in what he had written and think, he deserves 100, but how can we give 100? So again and again and again the teachers would give him 99. The consequence was that his classmates gave him the title Mr. 99. Now the classmates started thinking that all day long he plays and then he goes and gets 99. What is the secret of it? One day when Maharaj Ji was sitting in the exam, in those days they would have the ink pot. Now you dip the pen into the ink pot and then write, and his ink pot spilled and the ink fell on the ground. Another boy said, this is going to be the secret of his 99. He spilled his ink as well. The third spilled his ink and the fourth spilled his ink, and the teacher got extremely annoyed at the mess that had been created. But none of the other children got 99. On another occasion, as they were walking to the exam, one student, he said that it is his shirt that is making him get 99. The simple-minded children, they took off Maharaj Ji's shirt, shredded it, took one shred in their hands to write the exam, but again none of them got 99. So they asked Maharaj Ji that you please tell us that how do you get 99? It seems you have done Saraswati Siddhi through some mantra. Give the mantra to us as well. Maharaj Ji said, sure. Listen carefully. Kakar su pukar pakar kakar phakar, kakar su pukar kakar phakar khakar. So they said, Tripathi ji, can you please repeat the mantra so that we can write it down? Maharaj Ji said, look, this mantra, it would only become Siddh if you hear it first time and remember it. If I repeat it, then the Siddhi will not work. So the mantra also did not help them. This was his frolicking pastimes as a child. So after his primary in Mangar, He then started going to the school in Kunda, which was the subdivision. And from there was an excursion of the children to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, the big temple was Rangadev Ji's temple, which was built by Jagadguru Acharya. Huge temple. So when the children went around there, Maharaj said, one day I will build a temple bigger and more popular than this. And that statement of his, the prophecy came true when in the year 2012, the Prem Mandir was inaugurated. So Sri Maharaj Ji, even in his childhood, he gave inklings of his work ahead. Now, he continued to study till the age of 14. And after that, for 2.5 years, he went in various places, Kolkata, Delhi, Indore. This was the time of the British rule when educational system was not conducive for students. So students were in the habit of merely doing self-study, giving exams and clearing them. So Maharaji, in the space of 2.5 years, he became Ayurvedacharya, Vyakranacharya, Sahityacharya. Now, he was studying as a 16-year-old in Mahu. His elder brother, Ram Naresh Tripathi, who was a Sanskrit teacher, used to reside in Mahu. So Maharajji was living with him and he was going on and on studying. Now one night, his studies went on till beyond midnight. And his elder brother had gone to sleep. When he got up, he saw that Ram Kripalu is still studying. So he said, close it now, stop it, stop studying. Maharajji said, okay, are you sure I should stop? He said, yes. Maharajji stopped his studies and after that he did not touch a textbook again. So as a 16-year-old, he went back to Mangar. And there, the Gauna of Ammaji was to take place. So in those days, child marriage would happen. When Maharajji was an 11-year-old and Ammaji was a 6-year-old, the child marriage had taken place. And then later on, the bride is brought home. That is called the Gauna ceremony. That happened when Maharajji was 16. So he stayed with Amma for 1 month and then he left and went to the jungles of Chitrakoot. Now in those days, the jungles were actually wild. Nowadays, roads have been built, ashrams have been constructed. But in those days in Chitrakoot, lions and all used to roam around. The Maharajji stayed there in an avadhut state, which means no awareness of the body and its maintenance. So initially he had a semblance of clothing and then all that clothing also left. So he was in the Digambar state. So one is to realize the Mahatmya of a personality. The second is to receive grace. For grace, we must follow the path he has shown. And his path is so simple. Nishkam Bhakti. He always emphasized that attach your mind through Rupa Dhyan. Meditate on the image of God. Create longing in your heart, such longing where you shed tears like a child cries before the mother and beg God and Guru for their grace. Then the heart will be cleansed. And put Seva Bhav as the supreme. So always think of how I can give, not how I can take. Maharajji spent so much of time and energy training his pracharaks. And empowering them to carry on his mission in future. So himself, what I saw was, although he had the charm in his personality and his presentations to attract crowds of tens of thousands of people, he never tried to gather a crowd. He was just focused on training a few so that they will do the work in future. That work of Sri Maharaj Ji is continuing today, and JKYog is one of his blessed vehicles, which by his grace is disseminating this philosophy of divine love throughout the world. And all of us are receiving Maharajji's grace through JKYog. We are getting opportunities to engage in sadhana. And when the sadhana transforms our lives, we feel the difference. We get the opportunity to give back by engaging in seva and helping others as well receive the same benefit. This mission has already grown so big in just a few years. Well, the grand plan of such descended saints, who can fathom? In the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so few people even knew him. And now his philosophy has spread around the world. Likewise, in the centuries to come, as people become eligible for it, they will realize the specialty of his teachings and adopt them. But we are fortunate to embrace those teachings for ourselves and to follow this wonderful path. And then with the help of the platform of JKYog, engage in various sevas to give him pleasure and to receive his infinite blessings. Srimad Padvakya Pramana Paravarina Ved Marga Pratishthapanacharya Nikhil Darshan Samanvayacharya Sanatan Vedic Dharma Pratishthapan Sat Sampradaya Paramacharya Bhakti Yoga Rasavatar Bhagavad Anand Shri Vibhushit Jagadguru 1008 Swami Shri Kripaluji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Bhagwan Ki Jai.